Good morning, family. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Tech Robotics. Here we teach robotics and computing, and we bring it down so that our students can understand. Today, we are going to be introduced to the 3D design. We are going to learn how we will design our shape and later print them with the 3D printer. So to design in 3D, we use either the Fusion 360 or Tinkercad. We have a lot of sites or apps that you can use to do the design, but I will limit my students to Tinkercad.com and Fusion 360. I've already introduced you to how to create a Tinkercad account in my previous video, so if you have not watched that video, go and watch it. Learn how to create the Tinkercad account. Then here we can start with our design. I already have my account, so I will log into my account. Then we start with how to design a 3D shape. Guys, follow me on my screen. Please, if you have not subscribed, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. So I will open my browser. Then we enter into the account. If you have your account, you can also log in. Then we move along. So when I open my browser, then I'll type tinkercad.com. Tinkercad.com. So I've logged into my account. That is Bright KB01. So here you can start with new designs. Some of the designs that I have my notifications. Then when you come here, we have create. So here we can create a 3D design, a circuit or block code or code in blocks. So the circuit is where we do the electronics, the Arduino things. So today we are going to do a 3D design. So some of the designs that I have, if you attend classes online, if you want to watch tutorials, so I will click on create, then I'll go to 3D design. Okay, so this is the interface of the 3D design. So this is home. This is what we use to turn the shape around. If you want to maximize or zoom out, zoom in. This one too, if you want to turn your mat. Then here we have the shapes. The shapes here. By default, it will generate a name for you. If you don't want the name, then you type your own name here. If you don't want the name, maybe you are designing a cap. By default, it will generate this name for you. So you can just type in your cap. Okay. Here we have our shapes here. These are basic shapes. If you want more of the shapes, we have the favorite, creations, letters, design starters, creatures and characters, vehicles and machines, structures and those things. So we are going to start with the basic shapes. We have import. If you want to import a 3D file, then when you finish with your creation, we export. So it's either you export or you download a 3D. So here, when you download your 3D, or you can also send it to someone. 3D works with .stl. Then when you send it to the printer, we slice it using a slicer device or a slicer software. Then we print in a G code. The 3D printer accepts only a G code. Here you will not get a G code, but you get .stl file or extension. Then we use a slicer. We have a lot of apps or softwares that you can use to slice them. So we use a slicer, then we slice it to the G code before we send it to the 3D printer. Okay, so if you want to design, you have to get a mouse. I mean this one, or a wired one. If you are using the touchpad, it will be difficult for you to use because the right click, if you want to turn your the mat, you use the right click, you click, hold, and you drag your mat. There are a lot of functions we do with the right click and the scroll wheel. So if you don't have it, it will be difficult for you to design. So now I'm using the scroll wheel. Okay. So if you want to design, we have our basic shapes here. So let me bring this one here. This is a square. I can change the color from this side. I can make it a rectangle. I can raise my shape by click, hold this one. So I've raised it. It's no longer on the mat, it's hanging. This is a solid shape that I can print. Now we have this one here. This one is to create a hole or to cut part of the shape. So if I want to create a hole or cut part of the shape, so if I want to make this one a hole, I click on this. If I want to make it solid, I click on this. If I want to create a hole in this rectangular shape here, I will drag this one, reduce the size, make it tall, drag it down. So when I press on my key, the D, it will touch the mat. When I press D on this one, it will also touch the mat. So if I want to create the hole at the center, I will raise this one small. If I want to create a hole at the center like this, I will raise this one small. Now when I click on this, I will select hole. I will select the whole thing and group them. So now this is my hole. I've created a hole. If I want to undo, Ctrl Z or undo is also here. If I want to take off this, I click backspace to delete. If I want it to touch the ground, the mat, D. Now, I want to create a hole, a rectangular hole in this one. Can equally duplicate this one. So let me duplicate this. So Ctrl D to duplicate. When I hit on Ctrl D, so this is the duplicate one. So I will raise it. When I raise it, I will use the arrow keys to move it. So I'm using the arrow keys. Okay, I can see it's almost at the top. Okay, so it's almost there. So I'm going to raise this one. So I'm raising it. Okay, so now the smaller one has entered into the big one, and I'm going to create a hole using the smaller one. So I will select the smaller one, then click on this, hold and select all, then group. So I have a hole inside. I have a rectangular hole inside. So I click on D for it to touch the mouth. Then I can change the color. So the color of the shape will depend on your filament. So even though I have selected a green color here, doesn't mean if I print I will get this color. It will depend on the filament that I will use. Okay, so if I also want to turn it around, I can be using this one. I can be turning it around here. When I want to bring it home, this is the home. If I want to bring it closer to me, if I want to zoom out, so this is my home. And so with this I can export it. So I will click on export, then I will select .stl. Now it's download. So when I go to my download folder, the cap is here. Thank you guys for watching. Please, if you have not subscribed, do well to subscribe, like and share our videos. In our next video, we are going to learn how to design a cap. See you again next time. Bye.